Entertainment blurred into brutality. The world saw it live. What we learned is that wrestling is not fake, everybody. If
Nonsense. It's fake.
It's not fake.
It's fake.
Did you not see...
It's fake.
No.
It's fake.
Did you not see Raja Jackson beat the crap out of Syko Stu?
Acts. They were acting. They're scripted actors. I've seen this 100 times.
So if anybody saw last week, you saw that Syko Stu took a can and bashed over the head of Raja Jackson. And from there, as Syko Stu was in the ring fighting however many people he was fighting, he was dominating the match. Raja runs into the ring, superplexes the guy from behind, and then starts bashing him with about 20 punches or more and literally hitting him. There was no fake misses. There was real deal brutality happening in the ring.
Yeah, but how much
wrestling is real.
Yeah, but how much of this was scripted? How much of
Nothing
it was
scripted.
No, how much of it was scripted? The guy was there. He's the son of a famous fighter. He was supposed to spark the fire with a little pre-game, incitement, and then he was supposed to go into the ring and fight him. So what? He went a little bit across the line. A little bit. I don't think he's facing any criminal charges. What do you think?
Oh, he's gonna face definitely some assault charges for sure.
You're telling me back in the day Hulk Hogan beat somebody up and actually hurt them, and then he's gonna go to jail for it?
Well,
if
the position that you're saying is wrestling's fake, then you're never really throwing a punch. I forget what famous wrestler it was recently, whether it was John Cena or The Rock. Somebody was like, listen, I haven't thrown a punch in 20 years. Meanwhile, that's all they do.
Yeah.
They haven't thrown a real punch in 20 years. You had a guy here getting beat up that didn't consent to him getting beat up like that. If it was staged, you're supposed to maybe have a move or two done to him to knock him out in the ring, but not physically beat to brutality in the middle.
But here's the thing, right? If you're telling me that I have to show up to a stage and I have to pretend fight, and I've never been trained for that before, but it's already scripted, and I go a little bit above and beyond what it actually says, how am I going to be liable for that? I mean, I think that the defense attorney for this guy, Raja Jackson, has got a good defense. He says, listen, I was paid to be there. This is a whole internet streaming type of thing. But so what? I punch him a couple more times. Big deal.
This is not his father, Rampage Jackson, coming in saying, listen, I'm going to do what I do in MMA. This is a wrestling event that, listen, you're saying it's staged? Well, if it was staged, then why would the WWE, after this happened, drop Knox Pro Wrestling? Because it wasn't staged. Knox Pro Wrestling was like an amateur wrestling league that WWE would go and scout talent from. Okay. Now they're not even affiliated with them anymore. That says a lot. That this was obviously a rogue decision and negligence on Knox Pro by not fitting the right fighter to do what they need to do, and at least train somebody how to either throw a punch, take a punch, etc.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hear you, but the negligence standard. If there was a tort, if there was a battery, if there was some sort
of, video evidence.
Yeah, but listen, you don't know what it's real. The guy
is in the hospital.
I don't know. I think a lot of wrestlers end up in the hospital and they get hurt.
Oh my!
It's part of the game. I mean, you don't cry about getting tackled wrong in football if you're hurting your knee, right? It's part of the game. You don't all of a sudden go to jail because you hit the guy from behind. If you're paying me to show up and punch a guy in the head, and I'm a little excessive about it, I think that's fine. I mean, honestly, I think that's fine. I think this guy's got a good defense here. I don't think he's going to go to jail. And if anybody, there may be a civil lawsuit from this guy.
So if I beat you up a little bit, it's fine. It's fine because it's
fine.
Well,
I mean, you're not.
I want to know where the line, the boundary.
If we were pro wrestlers and somebody paid you to beat me up, and you
wouldn't have to pay me. I'd do that for free.
Yeah. And you got a little. And it got a little excessive. Then I get it, but I don't know. I think that this is interesting, newsworthy type of wrestling drama. I think WWE, FC, whatever it is these days, they needed a little bit of a spark, so they paid this guy to go.
They don't
crazy.
need a spark. I went to SummerSlam. They had plenty of asses in the seats. They do not need a spark. WWE is very healthy. They got good storylines going on right now, but this was real. Wrestling is real. Hulk Hogan ate his vitamins. I said my prayers, and he dropped Andre the Giant on his back. Nobody else.
I'll tell you what. He got paid. They told Andre the Giant he was going to lose that fight and that Hulk Hogan was going to be the new champion of the world. Scripted. No, that wasn't scripted. You think Andre the Giant is going to allow that little hulky guy to beat him up? No,
came in, defended America, and showed it in the ring.
What was that, 1975?
It was not 19. It was 88, 85, somewhere. I think it was 85, I think it was.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, I think the bigger situation here for a legal perspective is whether or not the wrestling organization, Knox Pro, right? Are they going to be held liable? And to be honest, if I am going to represent this guy who's in the hospital who allegedly is hurt,
Going after
right?
insurance policy.
I rather sue the Pro Wrestling Foundation that sponsored the guy who came into the ring, because I know they're going to have $1 million insurance policy.
Oh, more.
Whatever it is, right? And then one of the guys was saying that, is there going to be some sort of confidentiality? Did everybody in the crowd sign waivers? Are wrestlers allowed to give their perspective and be witnesses?
Well, the wrestlers that intervened,
situation?
they're being asked by Knox Pro not to speak to police or not to give any statements or speak online. First of all, why are you trying to silence what the personal information that they may have to help any investigation, unless you're trying to hide something or cover something up?
Well, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. I mean, as defense counsel, what are we hiding? There's no proof that we're hiding anything. They sign waivers to wrestle. They're not allowed to talk about this. These guys are pro wrestlers. They're not, they're witnesses. The whole world saw it.
Then you should get subpoenas flying out once you take on the case for the victim.
Yeah, but listen,
and take the depositions of all these witnesses.
I think the bigger issue is here is who's going to sue who with regard to the corporations. What's the liability there? And by the way, just to let you know that even if they do sue Knox Pro LLC or whatever the company is, whatever the structure is, if I'm now defense counsel for Knox Pro, I'm going to say, well, listen, although I provided the fighter to show up and do this, the scope of his script, like we've already decided this is all fake. The scope of his script was for him to go in there, body slam, throw 1, 2, 3 fake punches and get out. If he goes above and beyond, my insurance policy is not covering, because that's not part of the deal.
Well, that guy,
that's not part. If you burn down your house, you can't collect insurance for fire damage.
So
that's a fraudulent.
So then, does this become a topic of, is that person a 1099 or a W-2 employee of that company at the
Has
time?
nothing to do with it.
Has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it.
Okay. And if that person was directed by the company, don't you fall into the agency?
Nope.
No,
because you're acting outside the scope. You're acting outside.
No, you're
the scope
outside.
Of the profession.
The scope is to beat them up and
Yes.
to do what you have to do to a point. What the point is, from what you perceive the point to be, and the point is that they perceive the point to be, maybe we're never aligned.
No, because if I have an employee, right, who does something, who shows up to work drunk and does something, there's only one certain level of liability. But if they're acting outside of the scope of their daily duties, then I am going to figure out a way to get myself out of the case.
Yes, but in that scenario, that's an office setting. Here, you're in an environment where you are wrestling, you are being physical all times. You're not a desk job. If a desk job employee goes and punches somebody else in the face, I agree with you.
Yeah.
The business is not liable because that's not within the scope of work.
Yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. But in this situation, like you said, if the script was for him to throw 3 punches, body slam, and the guy got hurt in those 3 punches, fine. But if he goes outside of the scope and is grossly negligent,
I want to see that script.
Well, I think that's the important thing. Is there a script? Is it a loosely drafted script?
It's probably loosely drafted.
If there's a script, it's probably
because wrestlers pivot all the time to fix, because things go wrong all the time, and they have to pivot to fix whatever needs to happen, and that might have happened here. But the guy
20 punches.
Well, I'm sure was not in the
is
script.
Excessive, right? Yeah. So those 20 punches may be excessive. That might relieve Knox Pro Wrestling from civil liability. And then this guy, Rampage Jackson Jr., Raja Jackson, he's the one that's going to have the civil liability. I hope he has his own 1099, like you said, is a 1099 agent. Hope he has his own insurance. Who knows?
But you're not.
Again, follow, like, subscribe. Let us know about what you think about wrestling, fake, real.
Did you watch the video? What'd you think of it?
And who's suing who? And who's going to win? Tune in, subscribe. Thanks, guys.